Jeffrey Pepper Rogers back with Guitar Sessions and here to share Jesse Wells' song Pilgrim. Jesse's an amazing songwriter. I recently did a big interview with him for Acoustic Guitar Magazine, and he's putting out an astounding amount of good music, but this song really stands out for me. Great writing and a particularly cool guitar part, so I thought I would make a lesson breaking it down. So he's got a few versions of this out there, videos out there, and the performances vary a little bit. I'll follow pretty closely with the one on the Pilgrim album. So as with all the episodes in this series, you can find charts and tab over on Patreon. So let's dig in. So this song has 3 parts, an intro, verse, and chorus. And first I'm going to just start by running through the chord shapes. So first things first, capo 4, playing out of A shapes in this song. So it's sounding in the key of C sharp, but I'm going to refer to the shapes in relation to the capos. So I'm going to be talking about it in terms of being in A. So in the verse, we've got this very cool pattern with a descending bass line that starts on this A chord here, playing it as a 1-finger bar, and then I'm going to go down in the bass down to a G. Again, I'm referring to it by the shapes in relation to the capo. I'm going to be switching over to a D over F sharp. So I'm playing it like this. Got my index finger on the 6th string. You could finger this different ways, but this is how I'm doing it with my middle and my pinky. Of course, you could play the 1st string on this, but I'm not really playing that at all here. Don't really need that extra 3rd in the chord up on top. Sounds better without it, I think. So there's the D over F sharp, and then move that bass note down one more for a D minor over F. So you've got this descending line, A over G, D over F sharp, D minor over F. And in the verse, you repeat that pattern a few times until the very end of the verse, where got another couple of shapes that come in. So a regular just F bar chord shape, except I'm not actually bothering to bar it. I'm just playing the bottom strings. And I'm just going to go from that F, just a regular F major, to a 1-finger version of the G, where I'm only fretting that bass note. I'm muting the 5th string, can hit some of these open strings here in the middle, not playing the 1st string. And that's just, it's a very fast chord, so it's good to just do it with 1 finger, and then you can be on with it to the next thing. And that is all the shapes in the verse. So moving on to the chorus, leading into it from this, and then we're going to go to a C over G. So just a regular C chord, but add in that G bass note underneath it. There's a video where I actually see Jesse fingering this chord like this with his pinky over grabbing the 6th string. That is super awkward for me to do, so I'm not going to do it that way. But just an interesting note, little quirk of how he plays it. So there's the C over G, and it is important to do, instead of just a C chord, to do the C over G, because you get this much thicker sound by adding the 5th on the bottom of the chord like that. And it really makes a difference in this song. So the chorus has got that C over G. Gonna go back to the same D over F sharp and play those a few times. And then when we go back to an A in the chorus, this time, same bar shape here, but adding in the pinky, 5 frets above the capo. So still just an A major chord, but a little different voicing that he's using in the chorus. And in one part of the chorus, he adds this embellishment into this shape, which is... So stay in this shape, but add on 3rd fret above the capo on the 2nd string, 4th fret above the capo, 3rd string. So I'm calling that an A sus4 add 9. It's just a little embellishment of the A. A nice little variation on the sus4 kind of embellishments that people do a lot. And then there's a little line that wraps up the chorus where I'll get into the single note part of this, but there's 2 shapes that pop up there. One is just another version of G, which is like what I was playing before with just the bass note, muting the 5th string, but adding in the 1st string note. So you could finger it like this with ring and pinky, or like this with middle finger and ring finger, whatever feels better on that. And then when it goes to F at the end of the chorus, he's using some of this F6-9. So basically just like you're playing your F bar chord, but then you're only fretting the bottom 2 strings. So you got open 4th and 3rd strings underneath there. Makes a really cool voicing. Also, it's something that goes by kind of quick, so it's also a sort of a fast fingering just to get a couple fingers in place and move right along. So that is the library of shapes used in Pilgrim. So now let's dig into the riffs. So right at the top, we've got this single note phrase, which is starting down on the open string here on the 6th string. And there's not really a chord there, but but what he's actually doing is playing up notes of a C major scale, starting on that open 6th string. So you might find that helps you visualize, thinking about it as a C might help you visualize what the notes are that you're going to play. So let me just do that this line slowly. So we're starting on the 6th string. So that's open 1, 3 on the 6th string, and then onto the 5th string. Open 2, 3. And then on the 4th string, that's a hammer. So up to that point, we're just climbing. As I said, straight up the notes of a C major scale there. And so once we get up to that note there, we just got the open 3rd string. And then we go down for a second. We play a little pull off on the 4th string, 2 to 0. And the last part of it is 2nd string, 1st fret, open string. So let me play that whole phrase slowly. And then at the end of that, we're going to be landing on the A chord. So I was just using a couple of hammer-ons and pull-offs, but you could use a lot more hammer-ons to kind of speed this up if you wanted to. I mean, on the 6th string, you could go, you could just pick the 1st note and then hammer on to the next. You could do that on the 5th string too. So however you want to do that, but it cooks right along if you do it at Jesse's tempo. So you might find that some hammer-ons and things will kind of speed that up for you. I'm going to do it now a little more, a little closer to the tempo. When we land on that A chord, I'm doing a strum like that. 1, 2. It's a pretty full up and down on the 8th notes, kind of a strum is doing there, and that is that riff. And Takes a little practice to kind of get that cooking, but it's a very cool way to start the song. And then, of course, that same riff pops up in the middle of the song as well as at the end. So when it comes to the chorus, there are a couple of riffs to share here. The first one comes up over an A chord, and it's a really fun single line kind of thing to play. So coming out of that shape on A, I'm going to play this pattern starting here, 3rd fret, 2nd string. You could think of this as just going down notes of what would be an A major scale. So 3rd fret, 2nd fret on the 2nd string, 4th fret, 2nd fret on the 3rd string. So that's the first part of it. Then we start one scale note higher. So we're going to start up here, 5 frets above the capo on the string 2. Again, just like you're going down the scale, but you're ending up here on fret 4 on the 3rd string. So first part of it, and then both descending 4 notes, and then we jump up to this note here, 3rd fret on the 1st string. So you could think of this as like the 7th of an A chord, and then it's going to just go down from there. So that's 3, 2, 0 on the 1st string, and then 3, 2, 0 on the 2nd string. Except when it comes to the end of that, I'm going to use a pull-off to sound the open string, really just for speed, because this is going to fly by this little phrase. So if I put that together, it goes, so starting here, one more time. There, I added in a little extra pull off there. But the whole thing is starting on beat 2. So on beat 1 of the measure, I'm going to be playing just the bass note, the open 5th string, and then I'll start this phrase. So let me try to do that slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then it really comes to life when you get doing that fast in the tempo of the song. You get up to there, depending on how fast you're going to play the song. But that's how that lays out. He does have a couple of variations in how he plays that in different performances, but that is basically the phrase. And then there's this one other riff that comes up at the end of the chorus. He is playing a little line on the 5th string, and then using the same descending bass line that is in the verse. And the little single note thing that he's repeating is open, 4th fret, 5th fret, all on the 5th string. So here's how it goes. You start on the A, and the first time you land on the G, there's that G shape. Go back to the same line again. And this time you go to the D over F sharp. Same 5th string riff again. And here's where that F6-9 pops in. And then we have a quick G on the way back up to A again. So it's going to go on the A. So those are the parts of this song. The overall form goes intro, verse 1 and chorus, verse 2 chorus, the intro comes back again, verse 3 chorus, verse 4 chorus, and then he takes it out with that intro, or call it an outro, but the same riff that starts the song. So to wrap up, I'm going to give a whirl to the whole song. It's a bit of a tongue twister. We'll see how this goes. But you should definitely seek out Jesse's own performances on this. And as I said, you can find the charts and the tab for everything that I'm doing here over on Patreon. So I hope you have fun playing around with this great song. Thanks for watching. See you next time. 2, 3, like a kaleidoscope. Life's just some shitty list I wrote of everything I've ever broke. A circus of debris, of every jagged word I've spoke, every cigarette I've smoked. If ever you were told to don't ever change a thing. Floating down the stream of time, teaches Pilgrim how to shine. Floating down the stream, what's it gonna be? You can't take what isn't mine. The flood that comes in all my dreams, tsunami of memories. Take me where they'll bury me, acquaint me with the stones. For every brick and every beam, a slave will work and sweat and bleed, and an architect collects his fee. All floods do run to home. Floating down the stream of time, you can't take what isn't mine. Floating down the stream, what's it gonna be? Teaches Pilgrim how to die. Oh, before the sun completes its arch and leaves us wintering in dark, is there a language here, or just strange marks, some alphabet of souls? Some memories whisper low remarks, others never ceasing bark like dogs in some sunless park, forever digging holes. Floating down the stream of time, take this pilgrim, make him shine. Floating down the stream, what's it gonna be? Teaches Pilgrim how to die. The day will come when I awake, and the cold wind of the dawn will stay. I don't care if you go or stay, just don't forget your soul. Vanity like leaden plates protect me from what radiates. Reality's dishonest weight pass through me and go on. Floating down the stream of time, you can't take what isn't mine. Floating down the stream, what's it gonna be?